The Zimbabwe Electoral Commission, through statutory instrument 143 of 2022, gazetted nomination fees for aspiring candidates for the 2023 general elections. Presidential candidates have to fork out $20,000 up from $1,000 to qualify to stand, while those seeking to contest for parliamentary seats will each part ways with $1,000 up from $50 previously. Many political players fear this will result in less or fewer candidates on the presidential election ballot paper than before, since many smaller political parties will not be able to afford the exorbitant fees.
It must be free. If you want to vote, you don't pay money to vote. If you want to stand for office, you shouldn't pay money to stand for office. Everything must be determined by the wishes of the people. And the requirement that has been put now, looking at the figures, means that only those who are rich would be able to stand in for political office. It means that many of our people, imagine the women that are supposed to be part of the gender equality processes, how many women, marginalized people, are going to be able to raise those fees? They will have to find some funder for them to stand as candidates. How many young people are able to afford those fees when we encourage people to stand for office? And so it means that the democratic processes are going to be restricted to those that have the resources.
Maduga is among many opposition leaders who have heavily criticized the new fees and wants the commission to reverse them. He believes the commission misunderstood its powers.
So our constitution doesn't set out these amounts that have to be paid. It just talks about, certain requirements that you have to meet as a citizen. You are registered as a voter, you meet residential qualifications and so forth. Then when you go to the Electoral Act, it then provides for some nominal fees that ought to be. But what ZEC has done is quite substantial. It is substantive. It is a power that ZEC is exercising as if it were a legislative body. It doesn't have the power to do that. And that the mere fact that ZEC is allowed by the Constitution to make certain regulations regarding elections would not give ZEC such drastic powers as overnight to change our political discourse.
But the commission has fired back, and it says it's well within its mandate to make those pronouncements and has followed the prescribed procedures.
I think they should also revisit the previous gazettes. You will see that the commission has got that role to do that according to the Constitution of the Land and the Electoral Act. So we're not really doing something that is outside our mandate. We're doing what is inside our mandate, what we're allowed to do by the law of the land. That's the reason why we've done the gazette. We make recommendations through the Minister of Justice, Legal and Parliamentary Affairs, and when approved, then they are gazetted as statutory instruments. So if people feel that there's an issue there, I'm not so sure exactly what issue is. Is it a legal issue? Is it a perception? What issue is it? But if it's legal, we are here to tell you that elections are more legal than logical. So we've done our homework and we are the administrators of the Electoral Act.
The Zimbabwean electoral body says it's now turning its focus into the process of remapping of electoral boundaries. This exercise is expected to start in October and end in December this year.
We've seen the preliminary report on the census that was submitted before Parliament by Zimstats, but however, the Commission will only work with the final report of the census coming from Zimstats. When that is out, then that's when we're going to start our delimitation, the real delimitation. For now, we've been doing pre-delimitation activities that include one of the major activities, which is cleaning the voters' roll, because the formula for delimitation is in the Constitution and is actually dependent on the voters' roll that we're going to be using. So when we're done with that, we're also conducting technical training, because remember, there are a lot of issues to do with the locations, the maps that are there. These are some of the activities the Commission is doing, but we look forward to submitting this report by December to ensure that these new boundaries, if accepted by Parliament and the Executive, they can be proclaimed to be used for 2023 harmonized elections.
Even with elections still a year away, electoral contestation in Zimbabwe is gaining momentum. For now, the face-off between the electoral body and smaller political players is the first of many battlegrounds to come. Khumalo, SABC News.